right now on 5 on your side at 10.
We started off this morning in the 60s and we didn't get up that much higher throughout the day. What we reached today and why it's just a sign of things to come ahead.
Perfect harmony. The New Music Festival bringing diverse music lovers together while bringing in thousands of dollars. First tonight, new restrictions just hours away on transgender health care in Missouri.
I know that more families will leave.
And it has some saying, show me the door out of the show me state. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Mike Bush is on assignment. We'll check in with him shortly. Tomorrow morning, a Missouri law banning minors from receiving gender-affirming care will go into effect. The new law also impacts some adults. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, joins us now with a renewed push to stop the ban.
Brent, good evening. Missouri is one of at least 22 red states to limit or ban gender-affirming care for minors. Courts have stopped or paused those bans from taking effect in several states, but allowed the ban here. Trans advocates, including parents with trans kids, describe Missouri's ban as one of the most severe and extreme in the nation.
Attorney General Andrew Bailey celebrated a Missouri court ruling Friday that said a new law titled Save Adolescents from Experimentation, or the SAFE Act, can go into effect.
I want Missouri to be the safest state in the nation for children, and that's what that's all about.
But trans teens under 18 aren't the only patients impacted by new changes in the law.
My biggest concern is for trans adults who are needing this medication and who cannot afford it.
Missouri lawmakers also banned doctors from prescribing cross-sex hormones, puberty blockers, or gender reassignment surgery to adult patients who get their health insurance or medical care from the state.
Prisoners who are receiving hormones right now, it would detransition them, and that's very harmful.
Renee Friels went with her teen trans daughter to see their family pediatrician and followed the doctor's guidance on how to start that transition process. She said the state's new ban on trans care will push other families in their position out of Missouri.
Many of our families have already left the state, and it has broken our hearts to watch them leave. We've packed boxes. We've actually participated in U-Haul packing and watching them leave.
Promo Missouri's executive director Katie Erker-Lynch said the fight is far from over, adding it is now up to providers, clinicians, and the attorneys at their clinics and hospitals to decide how much risk they're willing to take on. In the Friday court ruling, Judge Stephen Omer wrote, "The science and medical evidence is conflicting and unclear." That's a claim Promo Missouri Board Secretary Arrow Royston called completely false, writing, "Every major medical association in the U.S. supports gender-affirming health care as the standard of care." In a scathing statement to the governor and attorney general, Erker-Lynch wrote, "You have blood on your hands," and said, "You have manipulated systems, grossly overreached your positions, and put your own insecurities and greed for power in front of life-saving medicine for children and low-income Missourians."
Lawmakers will likely take this issue up again in August of 2027, if not sooner, when the ban is scheduled to expire. Trans advocates at Promo Missouri also plan to organize a push calling for patients across the state to come forward and start telling their stories more loudly starting tomorrow.
Mark Maxwell reporting. Well, another new law is going to affect in the Show Me State. Starting tomorrow, the hands-free law will ban all drivers from using their cell phones while behind the wheel. Hands-free phone calls and navigation are still allowed. For now until January 2025, police will only give out warnings. After that, fines will start at $150. Some sad news tonight from the Lake of the Ozarks. We're learning a Metro East toddler drowned this morning near the Grand Glaze Arm in Camden County. Authorities say a 2-year-old boy from Fairview Heights wandered away from his family. His body was later found in the water. Tonight, we're learning a North County co-op officer suffered serious injuries during a traffic stop. A second officer has minor injuries from a crash on eastbound 70 near Jennings Station Road last night. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says 2 officers were outside of their patrol car when a driver lost control and hit both of them. The driver was arrested for DWI. Tonight, a 20-year-old man is in police custody accused of shooting at two St. Louis officers in South City. This happened around 12:30 this morning near Christie and Kings Highway in the Bevo neighborhood. According to St. Louis police, the suspect fired several shots towards them with a handgun that had an extended magazine. The officers were not hurt. The man arrested a short time later near the intersection of Alfred and Itasca. More fallout expected at Jennings City Hall tomorrow. The city council is expected to give a no confidence vote to Mayor Gary Johnson. 5 council members sent him a letter last week claiming he's abusing his power, forced employees to resign, and violated the Sunshine Law several times. Mayor Johnson has not commented. A pretty large crowd tonight over at Enterprise. Thousands of Jonas Brothers fans are packing the seats as we speak. St. Louis is the latest stop for the Brotherly Band's Year 3000 tour. Well, other big music acts are in town, including Ice Cube and Brandi Carlile, who took the stage about 40 minutes ago as the final act of the inaugural Evolution Festival. Our Laura Bercheski is live in Forest Park, where that 2-day music fest brought out thousands. Laura.
It did, Brent. Evolution Festival has been a big success for the city, bringing people together and also giving a good economic boost to the city. They hope will come back year after year.
You better check yourself or you wreck yourself.
Thousands of people filled Forest Park for the very first 2-day Evolution Festival, featuring artists like the Black Keys, Ice Cube, and Brandi Carlile.
You have the different types of music that they have here is bringing out a whole this big group of diverse people, and I'm loving the outfits and the hairstyles, tattoos, like it's great. I love it.
It's one of the first major music festivals in the city since Lou Fest called it quits in 2018, bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I got 600 people working here. Besides that, we have employment taxes, we have sales taxes. We'll do, 7 figures in concession sales, 7 figures in ticket sales. So just the taxes alone for the state and the city are great.
Festival goers say they loved all of the local restaurants and bars with booths at the event, allowing them to support their own community.
And I've actually never been to anything quite like this in St. Louis before, so it's really been a lot of fun. The variety of the acts, the entertainment, the food, the drinks, everything. It's been amazing.
Evolution Festival co-producer Steve Shankman says he hopes to bring this festival back year after year.
Greater St. Louis did a survey. They said we need a festival. Tashara Jones, the mayor, said this is a gift to St. Louis. Greater St. Louis said it's a way to put cultures together for a great time.
Festival goer Chi McDonald says this is really what St. Louis needed.
And the fact that, because we're so used to stuff having violence and stuff, everybody is happy, getting along.
I would absolutely come back year after year. It really has been a really good event, and I can't wait. I hope they do it again next year.
Brandi Carlile is wrapping up her set now, and the co-producer says that he really is committed in bringing this back year after year with the same artist diversity and similar big names that started off this inaugural festival that they hope will have a lasting legacy here in Forest Park. Reporting live in St. Louis, Laura Bercheski, 5 on your side.
Well, thousands of IndyCar fans showed up at the Worldwide Technology Raceway this afternoon, all for the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. Scott Dixon took the checkered flag, ending Joseph Newgarden's winning streak at the racetrack in Madison. Before the race, sports director Frank Cusimano took the Weather First storm tracker around the oval for an honorary lap. He'll have much more on the race later on Sports Plus. Well, it was a big night for 5 on Your Side. Thanks to you, we were able to give a considerable donation to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And the host of our Show of Strength, of course, Mike Bush, who joins us now live from Grant's Farm. How did we do, Mike?
Well, I say it every year, Brent, but the St. Louis area has some of the most generous people in the world. Once again, they came through for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Thanks to our viewers, we were able to raise more than $230,000. Now, this, of course, is a cause that is very near and dear to our heart because muscular dystrophy is really just an umbrella term for more than 40 neuromuscular diseases. Most of them are deadly. But going back to the days of Jerry Lewis, St. Louisans have always come through for their friends and for their neighbors. And the exciting thing is, What we did tonight will help with exciting new research and treatments that will make a difference in so many lives. And it's our hope that we won't have to do this telethon sometime in the not too distant future. I especially want to thank our amazing crew, plus my co-hosts tonight, Ann Allred, Rennie Knott, and Scott Connell, who always come through for a great cause. And of course, most of all, we want to thank you, the viewer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brent.
And Mike, we thank you and all of our incredible crew members out there, as well as all of our 5 on Your Side viewers. Chilling new details tonight about a deadly shooting Florida police say was motivated by hate.
The manifesto is quite frankly, the diary of a madman.
Why police say a Dollar General store may not have been his first target. Keeping your kids healthy and in the classroom during COVID and flu seasons. But is it too early to get their shots? We verify.
Hasn't been all that humid today. It's gradually coming down from where it was yesterday, and that's a trend that we can expect over the next few days. While we continue to go down in humidity, and if that leads to any chances for rain ahead.
Tonight, the community of Jacksonville, Florida is remembering the 3 people killed inside of a Dollar General store. Governor Ron DeSantis joined those taking part in the prayer vigil. And tonight, chilling new video of the gunman walking into that store as he started his rampage. The gunman was wearing a tactical vest, armed with 2 guns, one with hand-drawn swastikas. Investigators say it was a hate crime.
The suspect's on video in the parking lot in front of the store, shooting into a black Kia and murders the first victim. He let several people out of the store. Why, I don't know. Some of them were white, but I do believe there was a couple that were not.
The shooter later died by suicide. Officials say before driving to that Dollar General, the 21-year-old shooter stopped at a historically black university, but left after encountering campus security. Tonight, multiple people are behind bars after several fights broke out overnight in downtown Springfield, Missouri. Police say items were thrown at officers. A patrol car window left shattered. One officer had to go to the hospital with minor injuries. Well, COVID cases are on the rise, and we're still weeks away from the CDC signing off on new booster shots. Tonight, our Verify team is answering questions from parents about getting their children vaccinated as they head back to school. Here's Abby Larico with advice from health officials.
We've seen how important it is to prioritize health to keep classrooms running, especially after some pretty unconventional pandemic school years. With that in mind, we got a question from a Verify viewer asking about protecting her child from COVID-19 this school year. Emily asked if she should have her preschooler vaccinated with the shots that are currently available, or if she should wait instead until the fall when new shots could be potentially available. We turn to the CDC, the FDA, and Dr. Sarah Schaefer-DeRue with Children's National Hospital to verify, yes, the current recommendation is to get the available COVID-19 vaccines without further delay.
We would encourage families before they travel or go into high-risk settings such as a school environment to complete the vaccine series.
That means at least one Moderna or Pfizer vaccine for everyone aged 6 months and older. Young kids may need up to 3 doses to be considered fully vaccinated, but the CDC says most people aged 6 and older without immunocompromising health conditions do not need more than 1 shot of the bivalent mRNA vaccine at this time. Those are the vaccines that have been available since last fall, aimed at fighting multiple COVID strains. While the FDA's Vaccine Advisory Committee is discussing more updates for the vaccine formulation in the months ahead, kind of like how the flu shot is adjusted each year in anticipation of the worst strains, Dr. DeRue says the current guidance remains to get the shots that are available.
I've heard that there's been a mild uptick in cases this summer, but thankfully we're not hearing reports of emergency rooms being full and hospital ICU settings being full. And so the hope is that vaccination is achieving its goal.
No matter your age, though, experts say it takes about 2 weeks for each of the shots to really kick in. So keep that in mind when you're planning any beginning of the school year activities or family visits. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
And if you see a claim that you'd like us to verify, send us an email to verify@ksdk.com. Tonight, firefighters in Hawaii have contained a new brush fire that flared up on Maui. Several homes were evacuated, but tonight officials say there's no additional threat. This comes just weeks after massive fires killed at least 115 people and destroyed thousands of structures. Tonight, Florida's Gulf Coast is preparing for a possible hurricane. Tropical storm Idalia is moving over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico and could strengthen into a hurricane when it makes landfall in Florida by midweek. Let's go ahead and get a check of your weather first forecast closer to home now. Meteorologist Gary Frank joining us. Gary, good thing we've got that excessive heat behind us.
Yeah, it feels nice. And I think that's the last time that we're going to see something like that, obviously, for a while. It still may get hot, but, the combination of heat and humidity really got after us. We still had a little bit of that humidity, but, today we had that cloud cover that really kept us from warming up too much. And eventually the sun came out the tail end of the day. But, with that cloud cover, that cooler weather, a little bit of breeze, it felt pretty nice. Almost a little fall-like to some degree, but this week is not fall-like. There will be some cooler mornings on the way. In fact, we're supposed to be in the mid to upper 80s for this time of the year. 71 is where we are right now. North-northwest breeze at 7 miles an hour. We got to 75 officially. So, for the most part, I still think that, it's just less humid. Our dew point's in the 60s right now. There is some drier air. This has come down significantly from those 80s that we had. That will be the trend this week. So expect that with our current temperatures that haven't gone too far, especially in Forest Park, 71, 68 in O'Fallon, Missouri, St. Charles, 69. Quiet conditions, the 75-degree high was a top 10, top 11 coolest high on this day. But bottom line, it was the coolest high that we've seen since June 12th. So it's been a while that we've had a day like today. And as a result, as we head into the overnight hours, where we are now, we're dropping in the upper 50s and low 60s, depending on where we are. Mid 60s in the city, upper 50s in the outskirts. We're going to see more clearing with that north breeze. It is pretty nice. Now, tomorrow, temperatures will start off cool, but there's a lot more sunshine to be had. As we're in the low 80s tomorrow, it will be very nice. We've got a steady diet of that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The normal humidity, those dew points in the low to mid 60s, that's normal August humidity. That's not the 80s. We'll see maybe a mid spike with the possibility of a brief isolated storm as a front passes, but then it's really going to dry out Wednesday into Thursday as we're basically shut off from that Gulf flow because of where that tropical storm Idalia is working its way in. And I've scanned this through September 6th. There's nothing going on. And I'm telling you what, it's going to stay pretty dry as we stay into this pattern. I do want to show you what Idalia looks like at this moment on our visible satellite. It doesn't look like a lot. It's starting to kind of sit there, but it's starting to take a little bit more shape. We'll see it enter a couple of things right now. As you'll see, the wind now is at 60 miles an hour with gusts to 70. It's stationary movement, but as it moves into this really warm Gulf water, 110, this could be a Category 2 storm impacting northern edges of Florida into the Gulf Coast through Jacksonville and Charleston eventually. It's essentially moving into very rapidly warm water, which is about 90 degrees plus here in the Gulf. And that's pretty significant. Otherwise, for us, we're going to get to 90 degrees, but down the road, mid-80s otherwise, 50s in the morning. That's the key difference. Even as it heats up, we're in the low 70s. It's not quite as humid. That's a big difference, Brian.
Yeah, it really is, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We still got a few more pool days, just nothing too crazy.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Well, a treasure chest for book lovers and bargain hunters. You can walk away with several books for just $5. Layoffs have started ahead of the shutdown of one of the area's largest manufacturing plants. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, GKN Aerospace laid off at least 35 employees Friday. A second round of layoffs will happen in October. In all, about 700 workers with the Boeing parts supplier will lose their jobs by the time the Hazelwood plant closes next year. Well, you won't be able to catch the big Labor Day parade this year. Instead, members gathered a week early today for a day of action. Let's take you to the scene now at the Knights of Columbus in Florissant. Teachers, firefighters, gas workers, and pipe fitters, just some of the union members represented at today's St. Louis Labor Council Festival. The president says it's an effort to form more unity and to advocate for a living wage as well as diversity in construction jobs.
We've had the parade for many years, and this year we decided to do something more for the members. So one of the things we're trying to do is work with communities on getting different statutes passed to have like minority participation on the job.
Now, some Missouri politicians were on hand. Organizers say it is important to have conversations with the state's decision makers. Well, starting tomorrow, reading enthusiasts can score some big deals on books. Check this out. The Jewish Community Center used book sale is happening in Creve Coeur this week. A variety of books will be on sale, along with books on tape, CDs, and DVDs.
We have more categories than ever just because of the vast plethora of donations that we get from the community. And there's really a lot of unique finds, a lot of out-of-print titles, and there's truly something for everyone.
The sale runs from Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. at the Steinberg Family Complex on Schutz Road. Thursday is Bag Day, so from 10 until 6, you can fill up a bag of books for just $5. Well, who let the dogs out? The reason they'll be saying that at a popular St. Louis attraction tomorrow. The St. Louis Wheel is going to the dogs. Tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m., pups can catch a free ride on the attraction. They must be leashed and be accompanied by their ticketed human. Water bowls and treats will be provided. The event was postponed from last week because of the extreme heat. We want to thank you for joining us for 5 on Your Side at 10. Start your Monday with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 in the morning. Now, here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.